The world is watching. Always your face, your words, your life, lit up on a screen you post. They scroll. You wait. Like you chase the next hit validation. It feels good. For a moment, then it fades, so you post again. You smile wider, pose harder, perform. Better, but inside, you're hollow. You're tired. You're lost. You were born to live. Not just be seen, born for depth. Not for likes. Born to lead, not to follow trends. The digital world rewards attention, but it punishes authenticity. It feeds your ego, but starves your soul. You crave virtue, but settle for views. You seek meaning, but chase moments. Virtue is quiet, validation is loud, virtue is earned. Validation is begged for, virtue builds you. Validation sells you. Every scroll chips away your strength. Every post becomes a performance. You become a brand, not a being, but deep down, you know there's more than filters, more than followers, more than fake smiles and trending sounds. Virtue is not viral. It's invisible. Until it's undeniable, it doesn't get shared, but it changes lives. Choose virtue over validation, even when no one sees it, even when no one claps, because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more truth. Virtue begins where no one is watching, when the camera is off, when the screen is black, when it's just you and the choice. Will you scroll or will you study? Will you post or will you pray? Will you seek hearts or build heart? The digital world wants your attention. It wants your eyes, your time, your self-worth, but virtue wants your discipline, your honesty, your silence. Your soul validation is fast. Virtue is slow. Validation is loud. Virtue is steady. They pull in opposite directions. One toward performance, the other toward principle. Most will choose validation because it's easier, because it's quicker, because it feels good. But easy things break, quick things fade, and feelings lie. Virtue takes work, real work, hard work, lonely work, but it builds something real, rooted, rare. You want real, you want meaning, you want peace. Even if you don't say it out loud, virtue will give you that validation won't. World says, be seen. Virtue says, be strong. The world says, get attention. Virtue says, give value. You have to choose every day, every post, every thought. Will I serve my ego or my soul? It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. You don't need to be seen to have worth. You don't need to be liked to live right. You don't need followers to be faithful. Likes fade, character lasts, trends change. Truth stands, clout passes, conviction stays. Choose stillness over noise. Choose integrity over impressions. The world scrolls, but you stay grounded. They chase the algorithm. You chase alignment. Virtue doesn't beg, it builds. It builds peace. It builds strength. It builds direction. The digital world tells you to speak. Virtue teaches you when to stay silent. It's easy to pretend It's hard to live real, but living real. That's where the reward is not in comments, but in character, not in followers, but in faith. You don't need to share everything. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to perform. You just need to walk in truth. You just need to hold your line, hold your values, hold your soul. Virtue is choosing what's right, even when it's boring, even when it's unseen, even when it gets no applause. It's standing firm when the world bends. It's saying no when everyone says yes. It's staying rooted when the world floats. Virtue will make you lonely, but it won't make you lost. Validation will make you popular, but it won't make you whole. You have to choose what matters more, looking good or being good, getting attention or gaining wisdom, being known or being right with yourself. They are not the same. One is loud, other is lasting. Virtue doesn't go viral, but it goes deep. It shows up in your habits, in your thoughts, in your silence, in your unseen choices. It's what you do when no one is clapping, what you say when no one is listening, what you build when no one is watching. That's virtue. Virtue is character without costume. It's clarity without camera. It's consistency without clout. Validation craves spotlight. Virtue craves truth. One fades, one endures. You can't live both. You must pick one. The world will offer shortcuts, quick hits, cheap praise, but you're not here for cheap. You're here for true, for right, for deep. Validation feeds the ego. Virtue feeds the soul, and when the lights go out, only one remains. Choose virtue even if no one notices, even if no one applauds, even if it costs you followers, clicks, clout, because what you lose in noise, you gain in peace, because what you lose in hype, you gain in honor, because what you lose in attention, you gain in truth. Virtue is timeless. Validation is temporary. Virtue shapes legacy. Validation shapes illusion. One makes you solid, the other makes you hollow. The world doesn't need more people chasing approval. It needs people who walk with purpose. It doesn't need more noise. It needs more light. So let them chase trends. You chase truth. Let them seek praise. You seek principle. Let them edit their lives. You build your soul. Choose virtue, not for the world, but for yourself. Because when all the screens go dark, when all the applause fades, when it's just you and your conscience, virtue will hold you, guide you, lift you. And that is the kind of life that echoes forever, not the loudest, but the clearest, not the most liked, but the most true. This is your moment, your test, your choice. Choose virtue over validation again and again until it's not a choice. It's who you are, because the world will change, but truth will remain, and you rooted in virtue will remain unshaken. The world will tempt you every single date to trade your values for views, to trade your depth for digital applause. It will say, be louder, be flashier, be more like them, but you are not them. You are not made to blend in. You are made to be bold. In silence and character and truth, the moment you choose virtue, you step out of the stream. You stop drifting. You start climbing. People won't understand. They'll ask why you don't post more, why you don't play the game, why you don't chase the same highs. But you know, you've seen behind the curtain. You've felt the emptiness of performing for the crowd and losing yourself in the process. Now you build slow. Now you grow deep. Now you live with integrity. You don't need validation. You need vision. You don't need fame. You need focus. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe in your soul, because in the end, that's what lasts. That's what matters. That's what wins.